done defensively. How big have these big plays that you guys have been making defensively? How much confidence are you taking from these turnovers you've been able to create?
Man, they're huge. I think it's just great for the defense that, like you said, building that confidence game after game, getting those turnovers. We make it a real effort in practice to do that. So seeing it, our everything we put in practice come to fruition, it's really good to see.
This quarterback is going to be, I think, a lot different version of himself. You guys humbled him last year, obviously, but he's been throwing very, very well. What have you seen as he's evolved from last year, kind of getting thrown in the fire, to now having an off season under him?
He's definitely more comfortable. Feels better as a quarterback this year. He's definitely going to be better this year as we face him. But I think we can overwhelm him with our defense and make him move around that pocket. So
I know that everybody, when Northwest is playing really, really well, they've got Northwest circled. And something that Coach Higgins brought up on Monday at Hornet Talk was, you guys end the long home winning streak for them, long losing streak against them last year. They're probably going to have you guys circled. How did you guys approach that as being the ranked team going into Bearcat Stadium?
So last year you could say we were the underdogs, and this year we got a target on our back, and I know they want to beat us bad. So, but for us, it's just another game, and they happen to be in the way of our goals. So we're just going to do whatever we can and make sure we come out with a W.
Kind of similar question, but for years they're was Mo's the team that started on their back in this conference. Now you beat them last year. Now not role reversal, but do you still look at them as the team to chase in this league, or do you just kind of try to treat it like another game?
We always just try to treat every game like another game, but they have been historically very good. So we, like Coach Higgins says, we respect all, but we fear none.
What have you noticed, I guess, watching film from their offense so far?
They're explosive playmakers. They got a lot of good guys on the edge. Their O-line's always going to be good. So we just got to make sure we can get that quarterback uncomfortable, and hopefully he'll make some mistakes.
Thank you.
Vince? I got to ask the first question, man. Obviously, when you get that game-winning play in overtime, was that just a big sigh of relief, and what was the mindset, or what were you thinking with that play?
Man, I was on the field during that play, and that is something you don't see a lot. I mean, that ball was perfectly placed, just made a mistake, and we just happened to execute on that mistake. I mean, there's not a lot to be said about that play. It's just the football gods were on our side that day. So.
And just you guys as just the defense itself, you guys are just, honed in, locked in. You guys have been really sharp on defense. And so for you being a veteran guy and seeing some of your other veterans step up in that way and, being that dominant presence you guys could be, what's working for you guys in these last 4 games?
Really just our teamwork and not being individual players. We all kind of feed off of each other, and we all want to see each other succeed. So that's been helping us a lot, just not being individuals.
One last thing, and football, you got to have fun, man. And obviously, again, you're a leader. There's a lot of different guys that are older and have seen the game of football in this league. How important is it, especially when you guys are 4-0 right now, to have fun, but obviously, as you know, accomplish your goals at the same time?
We're always locked in, man, but we like to have fun too, especially at practice. We kind of get it started and get it rolling. So having fun just during a long winning streak is always good, but you also have to stay locked in and get ready to go. Each game is a different challenge. So having fun is always great, but making sure we're locked in when we need to be is a good thing too.
Awesome, man. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Landon.
Rylan, I got a kind of in-depth football question here, but as a defense, in practice, when you're going against an offense like yours, it's very unique and up-tempo in the way it plays. How do you practice against teams that don't play that way?
It all comes down to our scout team, and our scout team has done a great job mimicking any offense that we would have to go up against. So it's really just making sure you're in the film room, each and every player, a certain amount of hours in the film room, and because obviously you're not going to get the 100% best look from a scout team, but they do their best, and they've been doing a really good job so far.
Is that made up of younger guys? Were you a scout team guy as a younger player?
Yeah, at one point I was a scout team guy, so it's just mostly young guys and guys who want bigger roles and things like that. So it's always a good thing to have them, and they all play a role.
Cool. That's all I got. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Yep.
You ready? How optimistic are you guys? Obviously, you individually have done great things. Offense has had some really good stretches. How optimistic are you guys? Because I know that while you've done those positive things, you haven't really put it together for a full 4 quarters. How optimistic are you with the great performances you've had, the great stretches that you've had, that you've been able to do what you've done, even though you guys haven't really put it together for a full game yet?
Yeah, I think kind of like what you were saying. Like, we've had spurts of when we have been, almost unstoppable, really. And I think that gives you confidence just because you can do it. Just got to put it together for 4 quarters. And another thing is we've had great practices. We've had great practices where we're moving the ball well, making plays, doing stuff like that. And then lastly, I think Gunnar's just getting better every week. He's been phenomenal, 2-time MIAA Player of the Week, and he's making a lot of plays for us. But you can see him getting better in our offense.
We mentioned before we started that you've been here since 2019, kind of an old guy. So back when you were on scout team, the Northwest rivalry probably had a different feel to it. And after what you guys did to them last year, they're going to have this game circled by all accounts. How do you guys make sure that you're ready for that intensity and that energy that they're going to bring? Yeah,
they're going to be ready to go. They're a great team. They're well coached. And I know their coach has probably been saying, we got to go beat these guys this year. But yeah, I think we know that. I think we're expecting it. It's going to be a physical game, very physical game, the most physical game we've probably played all year. So I think we're ready for the challenge. But yes, they will be gunning for us for sure.
It feels like every single game this year has been, I don't know why, but does it feel more physical this year? It feels like this year every single game has just been like a bar fight compared to last year. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's just me. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I think in the MIAA in general, it's always physical. I haven't really felt like this year is more physical than last year. I think we've just played a lot of close games. And, we've been fortunate enough to come out on top of that. But, yeah, when the closer to the game, it does feel more physical and takes a little bit more toll on your body.
I guess, too, talk about Gunnar getting more comfortable on the offense. How have things been different, I guess, or the same from your perspective now, just watching him grow over these past couple weeks?
Yeah, he got here in the summer, so he didn't have a whole lot of time to, make connections or, knowing where guys are going to be in certain areas. But it's been so impressive to watch, how knowledgeable of the offense he's become just over the summer and fall camp. And then you can just tell, the ball's coming out quicker. He's trusting things more. It's impressive what he's doing, honestly, and he's continuing to get better every week.
Is this, I know, a game when you said, when you got here, this game, they were Northwest mode, always had a target on their back. Do you feel that's still the case in this conference, or is it just you try to treat it like another game?
Well, I think we do a good job of treating every game very the same. But yeah, I think Northwest, they were just so good for so long and still are good. They're a great team. I know they're 2-2, but I mean that record doesn't show how good they are. I mean they're a very good team. Yeah, I think the whole league still wants to go and beat Northwest, especially at Northwest. I think there's still that mindset in the league.
And I know schedule you play the way it is, but I think this is the 8th time in 11 years or whatever it is that you're going up there. You just kind of deal with, I guess, with what you've done, I guess.
Yeah, it seems like it's been like that with Pitt and Northwest, huh? A little bit, yeah. No, I think first of all, it's fun. It's fun going into a top team and going into their stadium. It's different. They get a great crowd, just like them and Pitt are very similar in that their student section's right behind you. There's a lot of people there, yelling at you and stuff like that. But it makes for good environments, and that's what you want to do.
Thank you.
Vince.
Hey, Tyler, obviously you guys have played in close games, obviously, since you've been there in your time, especially this year. How crucial is that when, yes, you played in close games, but every game has a different ending, different things you can learn from. These last 4 games, what have you learned about this group or yourself that can hopefully help you guys, down the road?
Yeah, I think just having a lot of older guys help you win those close games, to be honest with you. And I think it is good. We are, you could think of it two ways. Like, we're barely escaping from these games. They were 4-0. We're not dominating. Or you could say, like, this is going to prepare us for later in the season they're always going to be close games in the playoffs and the big games down the road. And it does prepare you. It does prepare you because you face a lot of adversity in this game, especially, last game we were down majority of the game. Come back, and then I've never seen really a play like that to end the game. Honestly, my heart dropped. But yeah, and you face a lot of adversity, and it does prepare you for later in the season.
You just mentioned your heart dropped. When you're obviously not on the field for that play, but when you're on the sideline, how do you try to contain your emotion when it's going in the air, and then when it drops, obviously it's a whirlwind, right? I imagine.
Yeah, you don't control your emotions. It was pretty crazy. Just 4th and 1, not even, take a timeout or whatever, not even know if they're going to go for it. They go for it. You think they're going to run the ball. They play action. The guy's wide open. And then the ball's in the air it seemed like for, a couple minutes. But, yeah, it's crazy. And like I know Rylan said earlier, I believe in football gods, and they were on our side today. Or that day, sorry.
Higgins is going to put that in his playbook now for you?
Oh, I don't. Well, first of all, I don't remember the last time we took in a snap under center, so probably not. But yeah, it was good. It was a great play call by them.
Awesome, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. You too.
Landon.
Tyler, you got me dreaming up like the Greek gods, but football gods. Who would be who? You got to get John Madden in there and
Yeah.
Vince Lombardi and whatnot. Looking back to last season, that Northwest win felt like, in talking to guys after, it was like, we did this for Coach Higgins. What's the mindset this time, knowing that the monkey's off the back now?
Yeah, I think that's a good question because I think it is a little different than previous years. I remember when I was a little younger, like it was like Northwest, like it's going to take a lot. We're going to have to play like just this perfect game to beat them and all this stuff. And I think they're still a great team, like I said before, but I think we do have a little monkey off our back, and we're confident. And that's the most important thing. I think last year we were really confident going into that game, and we played like it. And so this year we got to kind of do the same thing. It's going to be very similar mindset. Attack them. Don't let them being so good make how we play, force us to how we play, and just play our game.
Awesome, Crusher. That's all I got. Thanks.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Well, you guys, I know that you're super happy with how you guys played, moved the ball a lot, got a lot of things done in between the 20s. In terms of the overall offense, what do you feel like you guys need to work on to get even that a little bit better and take another step?
Yeah. I think we just need to cash in on drives. I think we're moving the ball well, and we're having some good production, like you said, in between the 20s. But like when we get inside the red zone, we got to cash in with points. And field goals are great, and Dahlia's doing a great job. But you want to score touchdowns in the offense, and so I think like I said last week, I think we had good production. I think we moved the ball. I think everyone did a good job. But now we just have to find a way to get in the end zone consistently.
And then what's your role? Not that it's all on you or all on TK or the running backs or the offensive line, but what's your piece of that puzzle?
I think me is just trying to get us in the right place possible. Coach Higgins is a great play caller, and he's going to get us in the right play. And then I have to make sure that we all get settled up on the field. So that's kind of my job. And most quarterbacks that is their job, is kind of being a coach on the field, per se, and making sure everyone's lined up, getting the right look, and executing the play.
I guess historically Northwest Mo is one of the big dogs, I guess, in this conference. What have you maybe learned, even if they're not maybe where they have been in previous years?
Yeah, I mean,
what have you maybe seen on that?
yeah, I know they have a lot of national championships, and there's a big tradition up there of winning, and they're going to be a good football team as always. No matter what, they have that tradition, they have that mindset of being a successful program, and that goes a long way for players. And but they're going to be sound on defense. They're going to be good play. I mean, they have good players, they have talent, they have athleticism, and so it's going to be another challenge for us. And I think just as in these past 4 weeks, we've been challenged quite a bit. So I think we're used to it, and we're going up to a place where they have a pretty good environment, and just like you said, there's a lot of tradition there, and they're used to winning. So it's gonna be a good road test for us again. But I think we're looking forward to going up there and accepting that challenge.
When you watch film on a defense, what stands out to you?
Just the way, I mean, they play very intelligent. They're gonna do what they do. They're in their system, and they do a good job of playing in their system. They don't really make a lot of mistakes. They don't bust a lot, so they're very intelligent players, very athletic players, and it's going to be a good challenge for us because they're not going to mess up a lot. So we just have to stick to our rules and just go out there and execute what's asked of us.
Vince.
Gunnar, do you have any NIL money so I can get one of those shirts for me?
I know, I wish, but they're pretty nice. They're pretty nice. I like them. Little tombstone action.
I like it. Say what? I like it.
Yes, sir.
Well, hey, man, obviously you're getting more comfortable in this offense, and Tyler kind of hit on, that you aren't feeling more comfortable, and obviously the awards are speaking for themselves. What's just been working for you, and obviously having a guy like Tyler and a loaded offense that's been back, and Coach Higgins, what's clicking for you right now where you are seeing defense is better and you're better in the offense now?
I think just everything, just the overall team effort has really allowed me to play well, and like I said, defense is playing really good, which is always a very comfortable feeling for an offense. Like you can trust your defense to go out there and get stops, and they've done more for us than we can ask. They've created turnovers. They have a lot of it, interceptions. They give us short fields, and so having a defense that you can trust with a lot of experienced guys is very important. And on the offensive side of the ball, like I've been talking about, just the experience of this team, and the O-line's playing good, TK's playing really good, the other receivers are also playing good. So it's just the pieces around me that allow me to have success. Coach Higgins, Coach Gleason, they've been doing a great job. They're up here all day, every day, and they're going to put me in a position to have success. And so it just goes out to everybody else but me, pretty much. They've been doing a good job. They've brought me in. They're harping on stuff, bringing me in, watching film, going over extra stuff. And so I think overall it's just the team effort, not just of the players but the coaching staff as well, that has, I think, allowed me to make a smoother transition into like this offense compared to acting like I've been here for 3 months and not really knowing what's going on. So I think overall just the perspective of the time and effort that the players and coaching staff have put in to really accept me into this offense has been something that I couldn't have asked for. It's just been great.
And to be tested, right? You guys have had 4 great matchups to begin the season, and when you go up against your defense in practice every day, how important is that when you have an elite defense that helps you when you go on the field and obviously play somebody else?
Oh yeah, it's vitally important, and it's always good getting challenged when it can be within your team. Because sometimes during the year it's hard to really get a good live look because you're trying to take care of both sides of the ball. And when you put like ones against ones, it gets pretty competitive, and so you try to do it the best you can to get the most realistic live competition look, and I think we do that throughout practice. But you also got to be careful because you want to take care of the ones and stuff, but you also want to have that friendly competition to where you're not just going against air. But the defense, like I said, can't harp on them enough for the amazing job they've done. And so going against them in practice, being challenged against good players, going best on best, stuff like that is, I think, vitally important for a team, especially when you don't get too many live looks besides on Saturday. And so I think they've done a great job of that. And even like you said, going against someone like that is very important because they challenge you. They're going to make plays. They're going to be in the right places. They're going to challenge the receivers and the O-line and stuff. And so I think that's just vitally important for us to get that kind of competition throughout the week.
That's all I got, man. Appreciate your time.
Landon.
Gunnar, we got religious with Rylan and Tyler. Do you believe in the football gods?
I think there is some room for that, and I just the way the ball bounces, I know in sports there's always certain things that are kind of uncontrollable, but I do have a certain belief in that. I really do.
for this team last year?
Yeah, just like I said, I've heard about all the tradition, and they have a really solid program. They've won a lot of games and won some national championships, and so that's just kind of their mindset. Playing for a team like that, you're going to have the mindset of being a winner and having success, and that's a big deal. Like when kids go into a game or go into a program where they're used to being around success, used to being around winning, it's a pretty positive thing. And so we're going to have to go in there and play our best football. I mean, they're going to be a good team. Like I said, they have smart coaches, they have smart players. They don't mess up a lot, and they execute their defense. And so I think on both sides of the ball, we just have to, treat it like any other game. Even if we're on the road, we got to go up there and ignore all the outside factors and just play our football.
Awesome. Thanks, Gunnar.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Coach, I think too, you look at Northwest Mo, I know every year traditionally this is a game you circle, but is getting the win last year changed the outlook going into this game this year?
I don't think it does. Last year was last year. Every year's different. I've said that. It was a big win for us, of course, but they're a different team. We're a different team.
Is there any? You're one game at a time. Every game's important, but is there anything different with the tradition they still have, or is there? You're looking at you'll probably look at the records, but is there anything you'll still focus on what their tradition is, and are they still, I guess, the team targeted in this league, or is it just?
Yeah, I look at it as not necessarily targeted, but just you have a great respect for them, and for what that program has done, what they've accomplished, and they're a very good football team. They're a very good football team right now, regardless of them being 2-2. So, their tradition is what it is, to where they're going to get everybody's best effort week in and week out.
And I know the schedule is the way it is, but having to go up there again, do you look into that at all, or you just deal with the cards that you're dealt?
Oh, I just go with the cards. I don't worry about that. I don't even really. Is that right? I didn't know we got to go back up there again this year. I'll be darned. No, really though, it's just part of it. You got to go. It's just what you got to go do. So I can't change it. So we got to go play. You bet.
Hey, Coach, obviously we know the toughness of this conference, and it seems like this year there's going to be no gimmies, if you will, and being tested really early on, and some close games that you guys have had, the adversity that you guys have faced, just maybe both sides of the ball from your perspective. What's just worked? Is it the experience? Is it the guys knowing what to do in those moments? What has translated so well for you guys right now?
I think there's a couple things, maybe more than a couple, but just I think we're playing really well defensively right now this year. I think that's been a huge boost for us. I think that there is some good veteran leadership, and like you said, having a lot of veterans on this team, and even though we have a brand new quarterback, he's battle tested though. He's played in big games, and so I think that's definitely helped. With a lot of guys on this team been through a lot of close games, and then sometimes just you got to get breaks too in this league. I've been doing this a long time, and I know this. So, so I think that's kind of been a multitude of things, kind of where we're at. I think we're a good football team. I think we still have a lot of room for improvement, and we know we got a big test coming up on Saturday.
And when you obviously see that play in overtime as a coach, right? There's only so much you can do when you're on the sideline, 4th and 1, right? Obviously, you can win or lose the game. What are your emotions like as a coach when you see it go up in the air and it looks like it's going to be caught, but then they drop it? So what do you tell the team in that moment?
What do I tell the team, or what am I going through?
Or what are you going through? Both. Yeah, what are you going through as that moment unfolds in literally like 2 seconds?
Yeah, it seemed like it took about 15 seconds, to be honest with you. With the ball up in the air, it's kind of like I felt like it was like a movie, like a slow motion, into the game type deal, where they just actually show the ball and nothing else, as it comes down. And so I've been on the other side of those things too, and lost games where I felt like, and actually against Missouri Western, it might have been 2 or 3 years ago, we went for it on two. We went for two at their place and caught the ball right on the goal line, and I thought we were in, to win the game, and they didn't have instant replay back then. So like I've been on the flip side of those things, and you always definitely want to be on the positive side. The one thing I told the team is just like, we should have never been in that situation, to be quite honest with you. The way we played, the way we moved the football. I mean, defensively, we had a breakdown for about 6 minutes there in the first half where they had over 230 yards of offense. But after that, we shut them down. Offensively, we moved the ball up and down the field all over the place. We turned the ball over inside the 10. We were 3 of 7, I think, in the red zone. So, like, we put ourselves in those situations. So I used that opportunity to teach our team just about, like, we got to play better, and we got to protect the football. And you can't have lapses in this league, or you're going to be on the losing end.
One last thing for me, and I promise I'll let Landon go. When you look at Gunnar, right? Obviously, you said he won the job because of how quickly he grasped everything in an 18-day span or 17-day span, and obviously he's showing that with a couple of awards. Just how good has he been from your perspective?
He's been really good. I think that the thing that I think we all set back as coaches, I know me and Coach Gleason, all the offensive coaches, but just we see like the ceiling level of like where he's at now and where he can be. He's playing really well right now. He played really well last week. He's getting better every week, just understanding the system and really being a guy that is driving the bus now. Like directing traffic at times. With our offense, sometimes you gotta be vocal. You got to do hand signals, all those things. Playing with the type of pace that we do, and then you got to process things quickly. I just think that he is playing really well. He protected the football last week. He makes good decisions with the ball. He can, if something breaks down, he can do things with his feet. And again, though, I look at it, and I know Coach Gleason thinks the same thing, and is that he can be – man, there's a lot of room for improvement there. And that is the thing that excites us. And it's still early in the season, and we just want him to continue to get better.
All got, Coach. Thank you.
You bet. Thank you.
Landon. Hey, Coach. And talking
What's up?
You seem to agree that it was a big get the monkey off the back game last year. What's the mindset this time going to Northwest?
I just think our guys, we're pretty grounded. We're pretty even kill. We don't get too up, too down. We try to focus in on the things that are important and not listen to the outside noise. We understand it's going to be a very difficult road game. Last week, hopefully we learned a lesson from it. We know we're going to get Northwest's best effort. They're set. I look at it like they're setting at 2-2, and they've had 2 big back-to-back wins where they beat a very good Fort Hays team at their place and then dominated Missouri Southern. And now they have a ranked team coming in there, a team that beat them last year. They're going to be breathing fire, and we're going to have to respond, and we're going to have to be able to withstand their punches, and be strong mentally, and execute, protect the football. So that's kind of, I don't know. I guess that's really been our mindset this week, and as coaches, that's what we've talked to them about.
That's all I got, Coach. Appreciate it.
That's it. No.
Took them all.
Huh? Okay, I got you. All right. See you guys.